Another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In this episode, I want to share with you the story in Toronto, Canada. A man living in the residence, living in the home, living in the condo building, he done lost his cool. He went and shot 5 people to death, and then he was killed by police. Let's dive into this story. Toronto, Canada. Toronto is the capital city of the Canadian province of Ontario, with a recorded population of almost 3 million people. It is the most populous city in Canada and the fourth most populous city in North America. The historically low crime rate in Toronto has resulted in the city having a reputation as one of the safest major cities in North America. For instance, in 2007, the homicide rate for Toronto was 3.3 per 100,000 people, compared with Atlanta 19.7, Boston 10.3, LA 10, New York City 6.3, and then Vancouver 3.1 and Montreal 2.6. So not as low as Vancouver and Montreal, but still one of the safest cities out there. The unthinkable happened on Sunday, December 18th, at a condo in Toronto, where a man has he just lost it. 5 people were shot dead by a gunman who went on a rampage in suburban Toronto condo building before cops stormed the building and killed him. Canadian police say that Francesco Villi started shooting in an apartment complex in Vaughan, Ontario shortly before 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night. The elderly resident, 73 years old, reportedly shot 5 residents dead in different apartments believed to be condo board members before being shot by police. He is understood to have lodged a civil complaint against the condo corporation for $1 million, but his exact grievances are still a bit unclear. A spokesperson for the province's police watchdog said that the gunman, who was a tenant in the building, used a semi-automatic handgun. And the Special Investigations Unit spokesperson also said that the victims were found in multiple units on different floors. The suspect was believed to have been shot dead by one officer in a hallway, and there wasn't an exchange of gunfire. That's what the spokesperson had shared. So basically, the cop saw him, killed him, and the guy didn't get a chance to shoot back at him, or he just wanted the board members dead and he didn't care what happened to him afterwards. But he did not return fire on the officers. On arrival, officers were confronted by the gunman at the building near Jane Street and Rutherford Road. Inside, emergency services found a horrendous scene and have since confirmed that a total of 6 people, including the suspect, have died. The horrific incident took place in the suburbs about 20 miles north of downtown Toronto, a city that prides itself on its long-standing safety. The type of weapon used in the latest incident was said to be the semi-automatic. The sale of handguns was banned in Canada earlier this year in response to a mass shooting that saw 22 people killed in Nova Scotia in April 2020. Chief James MacSween of York Regional Police said, "There is no further threat to the community at this point. We offer our sincere condolences to the victims and their families." MacSween said a 7th person was shot by the suspect, and that person was in a hospital, but they are expected to survive their gunshot injuries. Police located one woman at the condo who had been shot in the face. She is believed to be one of the deceased, reports City News Toronto. MacSween said he didn't have details on whether the shooter was a resident of the building or what the motive was for the massacre may be. At that time, he shared that, but we did find out that he is actually a resident. Let's learn more. Ontario's Special Investigations Unit, which gets involved when there is a death or serious injury involving police, is investigating. Armed police were seen storming the building following the reports of gunfire. Teams of emergency services then locked off the apartment building while ambulance worked to help surviving victims. Constable Laura Nicole, who was at the scene, told CNN it was the most terrible call I've seen in my entire career. She added that it appeared the victims had been found in different apartments in the building. Police have not yet named any of the deceased victims of Sunday's fatal shooting. Mass shootings, they're very rare in Canada, and Toronto has long prided itself as being one of the safest big cities in the world. Canadians are nervous about anything that might indicate that they are moving closer to the U.S. experiences with gun violence. It has recently experienced an upsurge in gun violence, sparking the introduction of legislation to ban handguns. Now, in April of 2020, a gunman disguised as a policeman killed 22 people in the eastern province of Nova Scotia, Canada's worst mass shooting. The perpetrator, Gabriel Wortman, 51 years old, he was a millionaire alcoholic whose denture business was shuttered by coronavirus. He was shot dead by police after the 12-hour killing and arson spree where he was setting off a lot of businesses, buildings on fire. In July of this year, 3 people, including the gunman, were killed in shootings in the city of Langley in British Columbia. Jordan Goggin from Surrey, British Columbia, was killed in a shootout with police after targeting homeless people. In September of this year, a man killed 11 people and stabbed 18 others, mainly in an isolated indigenous community in Saskatchewan province. The horrific killing spree, which sparked a massive 4-day manhunt, was ended after the deaths of the brothers Miles and Damian Sanderson, with Miles appearing to commit suicide in police custody. Firearms-related violent crimes account for less than 3% of all violent crimes in Canada. But since 2009, the per capita rate of guns being fired with intent to kill or wound has increased 5-fold. And Canada, they banned 1,500 types of military-grade or assault-style firearms in May of 2020, days after the Nova Scotia shooting. A gunman who shot dead 5 Condo board members, he has been named as Francesco Villi, who had filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the building's company, claiming electromagnetic waves were making him sick. And Mr. Villi, 73 years old, he was confirmed in court as having died on Sunday night around 8 p.m., with a judge stating that other details about the case had been reported in the media. And the senior, he had brought a case against the Condo Corporation, claiming that 5 named defendants caused him torment and torture for over 5 years. And those 5 could very well be the 5 that were killed in this condo residence, but we don't know for sure. Canadian police say that Villi started shooting at the Bellaria Residences complex in Vaughan, Ontario, shortly before 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night, just last night as of this video. Now, Villi, he lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, a 1-bedroom home, $476,000 apartment on the ground floor of the building. He killed 5 residents dead in different flats and believed to be condo board members before being shot by police. A $6 million lawsuit. This is $8 million in Canadian dollars. This was seen by dailymail.com, and it reveals that the row had been going on for 5 years, starting when the corporation tried to restrain Villi from threatening, intimidating, and harassing the board of directors. Villi, he posted several rambling videos on his social media in the days before this. He was a very angry man. And it was no secret that he wanted justice. He believed that they were trying to plan on trying to get rid of him. He even believed that they were trying to make him sick. He was really upset, and he thought that they were to blame. Now, obviously, we don't know for sure, but he posted several rambling videos on his social media in the days before the spree. You can see his social media posts here. And he was posting a bunch of videos, including this video here. He was an upset man. He felt like justice was not being served. You know, for years it looks like he was posting a lot of things around here. And we don't really know if he was suffering from mental health. We do know that he did have something from that was said to be from his doctor about about his condition, basically. And so he shot all these videos rambling on social media in the days before this mass shooting spree, accusing lawyers of continuing to torture him. He is also accused of threatening property management, workers, and residents of the condominium. But in 2019, Villi launched his own lawsuit claiming that issues from an electrical room beneath his unit were causing him to have severe breathing issues after he was diagnosed with chronic lung disease. And this is part of his post. You can see here where he posted on social media, I, Francesco Villi, something like that, have never harmed any of you or caused you harm in any ways, and all of you for the last 7 years, plus the only thing on your mind was, and it's to cause me harm in any ways that are available to you to ensure that I will die murder by your actions, that you forbid me to live my life in my own home. You have succeeded, and I am on the point of death dying. So enjoy yourselves as you may think and believe that you will forever unearth world. It's hard to read some of this, but he posted these things. You can see this is his Twitter. A judge ordered him to refrain from recording board members, management, residents, or employees of the corporation. He was also banned from making social media posts about the proceedings and to only communicate with the corporation in writing except in an emergency. You can see one of the videos where it was like he woke up and this is what he was suffering from because of the health conditions in this home. And so he had something coming out of his nose, might have been snots, might have been a runny nose. I wake up like that, but I don't know. However, in September of last year, in 2021, he was found to be in contempt of the order for communicating with staff, and he posted several videos to his social media. Now, 5 defendants named in the lawsuit moved to dismiss it and sought partial indemnity costs of approximately almost $8,000 in US dollars, and that's almost $11,000 in Canadian dollars, all inclusive based on full indemnity cost of $13,184. That's almost $18,000 in Canadian dollars. And according to the lawsuit, Villi was opposed to any order of costs, but was ordered to pay $1,833. This is $2,500 in Canadian dollars within 30 days on August 4th of 2022. Now, it is unclear if he made any of these payments, with a court hearing on December 19 confirming that the case had been closed. So we really don't know. The lawsuit states Mr. Villi believes that the electrical room, which sits beneath his unit, is improperly constructed, resulting in the emission of electromagnetic waves, which have caused him significant pain and suffering over the years. Mr. Villi believes that the board members of the corporation have actively engaged in efforts to intentionally harm him, likely at the behest of the powerful developer who built the condominium. Now, Mr. Villi, he also believes that all the individuals involved had not only conspired to harm him, but have also conspired to ensure that the truth of the matter never surfaces. And you can see right here where he is said to have a letter from his doctor. Dear to whom it may concern, Mr. Villi has chronic obstructive lung disease and lung disease. Please ensure that his environment is maintained to be clean without exposures to dust and pollution. I myself have not verified whether this is an actually from him, but this is something that was reported by dailymail.com, I believe, and so I'm actually sharing it with you as well. Now, one woman in this shooting, she was rushed to the hospital after the shooting, which cops describing it as a horrendous scene, but she is expected to recover fully. She was the 7th resident that was shot. Now, resident John Santoro, he said that he served on the condo board for about a year several years ago, telling reporters that the situation is tragic. He added that he heard a commotion in the corridor, and when he opened the door, he saw police with rifles right outside the door in the elevator lobby. And, this leads me to, it could have been mental health that caused them. It could have been that he just absolutely lost it. Mental health is a real problem. And when he's not feeling like he's getting heard, for some reason, why? He felt like he needed to take it into his own hands. Maybe he felt like his lawsuit wasn't going anywhere. Regardless, this should not happen. They are innocent of actually hurting him on purpose. I truly believe that. We hear horror stories about condo associations all the time. All the time. And at the end of the day, it should not lead to killing. It should not. If you had to defend yourself in it's your life or their life, that's a different story. But that wasn't the case here. That wasn't the case here at all. And so it's key that we know, this doesn't have to lead to this. Sell your home, move out of there, do something. 73-year-old man. And looking at his Facebook post over the last year, he's been pretty upset about this. He feels like the lawyers were not helping. He feels like the judge was not helping. He was angry. And he lost it. And it does not make it okay. And so he even posted this, Francesco Villi murder. I don't know what this means. This was on his Facebook post. He posted this. It was something like maybe a year ago or something like that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean personally. Why did he want to do that? Me looking at that tells me that he already had murder on his mind. But it also could mean that they're trying to murder me by killing me, icing me out, keeping me sick so that I can never recover. So you can take this a few different ways. But that's what we know in reference to this. Let me show you the actual post. Maybe you can put some context with it. Freedom of speech, expression, liberty, rights. Discrimination is the worst act by humanity. A world without remorse and without morality. Save and accept the good spirit soul. The suffering of humankind in the world evil. The writer, it's saying with visions of morality. FV. Not too short. It's kind of nauseating looking at whatever he spit up there. But he had a lung infection. He had a lung infection. And that's why he felt like they weren't doing anything about it. He was trying to get some justice here. He was trying to get someone to hear him out. And now we wait to find out, was there more of a backstory to this? Truth is, we may not find out more. But now you know a little more about Francesco Villi. Rest in peace to the 5 individuals that this man shot and killed. We don't know his story. What we do know is, without a shadow of a doubt, you did not need to kill anybody. We don't know if he had those guns legally. The spokesperson did not elaborate on that. That might come out later. And so, my friends, this has been another episode of Deep True Crime. My goal is to be a voice for the victims and to keep you aware of what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in. These condo members probably did not know that he would stoop to this point, but there was a restraining order out because he seemed to be a threat. He approached them when he wasn't supposed to previously. What is a person supposed to do? Is everyone supposed to run? Are they supposed to just go ahead and replace it? It is a hard pill to swallow. We don't understand why these things happen. But my friends, if this is the type of content you like to follow, hit that subscribe button. Click on that like if you got some value, because that will tell YouTube that there's value. Show it to more people. And if you want to get notified anytime I upload content or go live, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I share any content. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez, and this has been another episode of Deep True Crime. Be careful out there. Again, you never know who you will upset that will then turn around and do what Francesco did. Rest in peace to the 5 victims. Be careful out there, my friends. Have a great day. Peace.